We're here at Roxbury Crossing. Um, Looks like the orange line is down. Not too sure why, but let's take a quick peek at the doors being shut so you get an idea what's going on.
Train station's closed, my friend.
Did they say why?
I have no idea, man.
I hear you.
You know,
They just know that it's closed,
they
right?
just send me over here to be telling people what it is. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. I appreciate that. All right, so it is closed. It says from May 30th to June 1st. And they want people to take public transportation, and it's not even, it's got different languages as well. He got headphones on, so he can't really hear what you're saying. They're not really headphones, they're earbuds, but so I'm not too sure why this is closed, but you see a lot of people trying to enter the train station and not realize that it's closed.
Train station's closed. Hi, mommy.
So a lot of people woke up in the morning, and I don't think this was pre-announced. I think it was just something that just happened, but they got those Yankee buses over there utilizing. Spent a lot of money utilizing those buses.
Yo, Dick, hold up. I got one for you.
So we want to show you I think from North Station to Forest Hills is all closed. And this, ironically, is the day after the federal government made an announcement. They got 5 so-called mechanics, inspectors, whatever you want to call them, being investigated for wrongdoing. Say that if you want your car clean, tune-up, brakes, sound work, they were doing all that kind of stuff. But they were supposed to be inspecting the tracks on the red line, supposedly. But more will follow with that. There's a lot more going on with the MBTA other than that, and it's a lot. Trust me, it's a lot. The T is greatly mismanaged. Greatly mismanaged. So once again, from North Station to Forest Hills, no orange line service. Get signs saying Shuttle this way.
Okay, you got it.
And they don't even tell the workers why they're closed. They just abruptly just closed the station. What was this pre-planned, or was it?
I have no idea. They just assigned me to come over here and do what I have to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's not fair for the public. They just shut down the train station. Don't tell nobody. You know what I mean?
I know that.
It's
you
crazy.
have to check the app or whatever.
But which they don't have an app. With their disability, they don't have an app.
That's true too.
There's a lot of seniors that don't use. That young lady's trying to get inside as well.
Train station is closed.
So a lot of people don't. A lot of elderly people don't use computers.
I see.
So how would they figure this out?
I know.
And they got wheelchairs. They got walkers.
Gotcha.
Some people are blind.
Yeah, because I'm with you see the
Yankee bus. Yeah,
Transit.
I got you.
I work with them, you know what I'm saying? So we just making sure that they get on the buses and do whatever.
Correct.
They
You do what you got to do.
With MBTA,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
And it'd be nice if they had an MBTA spokesperson come down here.
Well, he's part of the.
Well, he's part of the ambassador section.
Ambassadors, yeah.
Yeah, he's the ambassador. I know what the ambassadors do. You want to speak on the ambassadors? Nah, he said nah. I know about the ambassadors.
I feel you.
All right, man, take care.
All right, man, take care,
The ambassadors. So they're kind of like I don't know what they do. It's something. The T added the ambassadors in to like help direct people, help inform people, help people out navigate through the transit system, stuff like that. You've probably seen with the red shirts at some stations. It's nothing. They've been around for quite some time now. They weren't always there, but they do have them now. So we got a lot of Yankee buses. We're gonna get a copy of all these Yankee buses go up and down Columbus Ave. It's quite a few of them too. I counted over 70 of them, so there's quite a few of them. Shuttles to Forest Hills. Board here. I got a couple of text messages early in the morning about the T being down. They didn't give a reason though, so I don't know what the reason is. It also came across, I believe, WBZ Radio and Channel 7 did a little news thing on it as well. At the same time they did that, you got images of the guys on camera, like stealing time from the state and lying on it, and you know, fabricating inspection work and stuff like that. So that's actually criminal. That's serious. That's actually federal, because you're dealing with the safety standards of the public, and that's not a good sign for the MBTA. Get another bus here. It says Orange Line. We get an image of the people getting on and get off the bus.
Forest Hills Shuttle, Forest Hills. Forest Hills. All right.
This guy's getting a blue bike. Check him out. He's trying to play it smart. He said it's safer on the road than on the bus. I mean, they got Yankee buses. I guess they call all the available fleet that they had. They had to get a whole lot of buses available. And you got the right idea, right? Ride a bike, man. Yes. It's a lot better than taking the T.
I know it.
I've done it. I still do it. I mean, actually, if you navigate through the city pretty good, and you're a good bike rider, you actually can get there probably quicker than the T, depending on where you're going to, from point A to point B. I mean, you just gotta know the routes to take, and it's always the easier route that you learn. But you know, some guys are pretty good at it. They know how to navigate through the city pretty good. And there's a lot of bikers that do ride this path right here. This is a very heavily traveled path for bikers. So they have quite a few buses, or they need a few buses anyway, to navigate from North Station all the way to Forest Hills, taking passengers back and forth. I'm not too sure how they have it coordinated, but you can always ask if they have the answer. It's always good to get the facts. You don't have all the answers, but just try to get as much facts as possible. I'm assuming, without actual facts, that the Orange Line is shut down from North Station to Forest Hills. Is that correct? All the way
from Back Bay.
From Back Bay to here.
Yeah, Back Bay to Forest Hills.
So Back Bay to Forest Hills. That's still a good stretch anyway. Gotcha. Back Bay to Forest Hills. I'm not too sure what took place. So I get two different answers. I got one from Back Bay, one to Forest Hills. I'll find out later on, because I'll ask the gentleman that's actually on the train when he send me a text message, so I'll find out exactly which one it was. But it may be true. Back Bay to Forest Hills. That's still a lot of stops. And they're not really saying why or what happened, or this almost a car accident there. This is one of the worst intersections if you're driving or walking or anything. This is a very, very dangerous intersection right here. Very dangerous. People, at least one or two people have been killed at this intersection. And nobody uses caution at all. Nobody exercises any caution. So Back Bay Copley, shuttles to Back Bay Copley. You got to cross the street to the other side and get those buses. Get the guys doing the lawn. They got probably the nicest job for the state. How you doing? See all the bikers coming through. So I'm gonna hang around for a little bit to give you some video of the buses passing back and forth through this. Some people call this Roxbury Crossing. Some people call it Lower Roxbury. They got different names for this area right here. Roxbury Center. I heard a lot of different names they call this. He's beeping at him, but he's in the crosswalk. I don't know how that works. He does have the stop arrow, the stop hand. So if you have the stop hand and you walk in the crosswalk, who has the right of way? Because they still say the pedestrian has the right of way, whether they have the cross or not. So that's a good question. How does that work? If they have the stop hand and they still cross the street and they get hit, who's at fault? A lot of people do it. We all have done it at least once or twice in our life, but always do it with caution. There's another guy crossing with a moped or a scooter, but the light is still red on that side. So how does that work? The scooters have to follow the same rules as cars. You know, there's a lot going on there, and they should. It's a motorized vehicle on the road, they should. Walk down in front of the station and see how many people try to enter the station. And like I said, I don't think there was any notice of the trains being shut down. It might have been something that just happened Friday, May 30th, which is today, 7:16 a.m., which is the right time. It's good they have a real-time message board, which is kind of helps people out a little bit. just get an image of the people that walk up to the station and not realizing that it's. I imagine they never gave it any notice because most of these riders wouldn't just walk up to the door and start pulling on it if they knew it was going to be shut down. And as a matter of fact, I know they didn't give any notice because there's a guy I know that rides the train all the time, and he would have said something. He definitely would have said something. And the T is greatly mismanaged because, for one, there's too many upper management, and the upper management doesn't keep track of what they're supposed to do. So it all trickles down. If upper management not doing their job, then lower management not doing their job. And everybody's not doing their job because no one cares. This is Roxbury Cross, which is this is a kind of, it is busy. So all these stations are pretty busy. It's not a major station like Ruggles or Jackson, I should say, where they have a bus line that runs through it. The bus does come through here, but doesn't actually come through the overpass and come through that way. Like Back Bay is a very busy station, obviously. You know, Forest Hills is a very busy station. Like Green Station is busy, but not as busy as the other one. Like Stony Brook is not busy. You know, you kind of can gauge which ones are real busy. They have shuttle buses too, you know. They have a shuttle bus. Were you trying to go that way? Oh, you take an Uber? Yeah. Oh, okay. He said it's gonna take an Uber. It's probably quicker anyway. This gentleman here and his friend's gonna take an Uber because they were gonna catch the train, but they're gonna catch an Uber. There's a gentleman to your right that doesn't know where to go. Just let him know.
So it's closed right now. You can take the shuttle bus to where they can go. Which one are you trying to go downtown somewhere? Yeah. So you can see where the yellow ones are going this way. That's where you want to be across the street. So they can pick them up from there.
Like I said, this is like a, you know, something that just happened. It could be a track issue. But the thing is, it should be no issues with the track. So keep in mind, the orange line was closed for 30 days. Then it was closed again after the 30 days. Then I think it was closed again after those again. So it was closed at least 3 times. So you mean to tell me 3 times you couldn't get it right and you're still dealing with another issue? They said they got rid of the slow zones, but where? I don't know where the slow zones are gotten rid of. Like, if Philip Ng, I'm giving him an invitation. He can come meet me on camera, and we can go find these slow zones that were eliminated, and we can talk about it. And I always give these people opportunity to talk to me, and a lot of them just run away. So, like, matter of fact, one day I might go down to the transportation building and say I want to speak to Philip Ng and see what he got to say. He's not going to want to speak to me at all. I can guarantee that right now. So, I think I did. Matter of fact, I think I did call down there one time and ask to speak to Philip Ng. They told me to speak to the PR person or something, which is a bunch of garbage. I mean, PR people are just going to give you PR stuff. You know what I mean? That's all they do. They're not going to give you any information that you don't already know. And then Phil Ng always do these photo apps and say, oh, the T is good, it's running safe, it's, you know, you got Russell Holmes trying to double down and say, oh, the T is safe. It's not safe. Trust me, it's not safe. I know that for a fact. It's not safe. I inspected a lot of things, and I know it's not safe. Matter of fact, you can watch the news and tell it's not safe, where people are having debris falling from their heads, water leaking at the stations, trash and debris on the tracks. The list goes on and on and on. So it's not safe. Don't never use that word safe. Just say you don't know, you're unaware, but don't never use the word safe, because now you jeopardize everybody else's safety in the name of you saying it's safe. Just say use caution when you ride the MBTA. I mean, matter of fact, they just settled a hefty lawsuit with the gentleman that was killed on the red line. I mean, if someone dies, that's not safe. I mean, come on. I mean, you can't call it safe if someone's losing their life. And this is from mismanagement over years. I mean, Maury Haley, the previous governor, it goes on and on and on. So it just didn't happen in a vacuum. It was neglect for a long period of time. And it's still being neglected. I mean, they want to spend billions and billions of dollars on bus lanes, but they don't want to fix the infrastructure. I can't figure that out. You want to put a bike lane or bus lane or both down Blue Hill Ave, that's not even an issue right now. Fix the issue at hand first before you spend any money elsewhere. How about that? I mean, trust me, there's more to say about that, but we'll save that for a later time. So this guy, I guess he just gets to sit in the booth because there's nothing else for him to do at this point. I wonder, I don't know. That's interesting though. This is just different languages as we saw before.
Train station is closed. You gotta grab a shuttle if you need to go to wherever you need to go. Where you going, sir?
Charlie 431, 44.
Excuse me.
Train station is closed. You gotta grab shuttle buses.
This actually makes people late from 30 minutes to an hour late by just not able to take the train. So people who normally be on schedule and early on time to work, they actually be late because of this mishap with the MBTA. And I don't know why it would be. If the T spends so much money fixing stuff and repairing stuff, why don't they document it? Why don't they? They won't do that. That'd be too risky for them to do something like that. Then it'll be showing where the real money's being spent. I guess that's a patch job that was never fixed or repaired. I mean, there's so many things just on the outside of the station. You can see so many things that they should be doing, but they haven't done.
12.
Like right here, for example, you have a open electrical box with no cover on it. There should be a cover on it, whether it's active or non-active. Somebody used the indoor electrical box on the outside, which, I mean, it's probably gonna rust, and it should be an outdoor box on the outside. At least that's what I think, anyway. Even though it's not directly exposed to the elements, it is out in the elements. So you will get rust and corrosion because of the moisture and stuff like that.
Jackson, right where those people getting on that bus, right there. All right.
We'll hang around. We'll just. Missing light fixture. I don't know if it fell down or somebody took it down, but it's not there now. I thought they fixed this, but I guess they didn't do a good job when they did try to repair this. This is all like a trip hazard. This whole walkway right here, it's a major trip hazard. At one point, I think I did a video, and guys trying to patch it, but it's still in a pretty bad condition. I don't know if they need to just dig it up and do it the right way. A lot of overgrowth on the building there, which, depending on who's doing the inspection, will pass or fail it. Actually, they say no vegetation is supposed to touch the building. They said I'll hang around for maybe another half an hour or so. Just give you some footage of buses coming and going, passengers getting on, getting off the bus, and stuff like that. You might see somebody you know, you might see yourself, you never know. So I was talking to a few people about the MBTA, and I think we got a lot of it figured out. What the T does is they appoint someone into office just enough time to mess up everything and blame it on the next person. So they will extract as much money out of the system as possible, screw it up as much as they can, and say they did the best job they could. And then the next person do the same exact thing. And it seems like the governor is involved in the whole thing because there's no oversight from the governor. And they come out and say everything is fine. In reality, the governor is the one who put that person in a position to extract that money in the first place. So they're only helping out their friend to get more money to take money from the state. At the end of the day, the T will be no better than it ever was from the time it got worse. You have more accidents, more problems, but then they say we did the best we could. But then that's all a bunch of, we know that's full of crap. Because the T's not actually giving people with proper training. They're not promoting within with the people that should be promoted within. And they're hiring people that don't have any experience in the MBTA just to promote their own friends. And that is very true. It happened with the Baker administration. It's also happened with the Maura Healey administration right now. So we see that. The MBTA workers cannot speak on it because of backlash, but that's what's going on. The people who suffer are the actual workers. They're forced to work overtime. They're sometimes being picked on, and there's a whole lot of other stuff that goes on in there. Some T-employees may come forward and talk to you about it, but a lot of them are pretty quiet about it. They won't get promoted. They won't get days off requested. A whole lot of stuff like that goes on and on in the MBTA. And if you doubt it, you go talk to the people that work in the MBTA. Some people may talk about it. A lot of them will be quiet because they don't know who you are. They may think you're working for them, and you might rat them out and say that this person's talking about the MBTA. Because the MBTA has their own little snitches that report back to them what's going on within the MBTA. So obviously you'll be afraid to say something because of that kind of backlash. But the training is really poor. They don't train the employees thoroughly enough to make sure they understand what they're supposed to be doing. And then the people who become supervisors don't have the training to train the people underneath them because they didn't have had that experience working up the chain. A lot of that goes on, but you guys don't see it because you just hop on the bus and see a person and think everything's okay. But behind closed doors, there's a lot going on in the MBTA. Somebody actually sent me a text message. Well, I'm not going to comment on that because that's pending investigation. I'm not going to. Yeah, we'll leave that one alone. We'll leave that one alone. We're not going to talk about that one. So you got a choice of buses. You can get the luxury or the super luxury or like the deluxe. So they got different buses that you can gather or get on. I think those ones are the ones with the restroom in the back and everything. So those are like the traveling buses right there. That's for long journeys. This one here is more for like local transportation, and the other ones are more like for public transportation. Always look left and right because this is a, even though it doesn't look like it's not labeled, this is a pathway where bikes will pass back and forth. So just out of habit, I always look left and right before I cross. Some people just walk right out, but you know, to each his own. Alright guys, I figure I'll show you a little activity over here. I guess Uber and Lyft is gonna make a lot of money in these next couple of days. They just say I'm gonna take a Lyft.
Train station's closed. You would have to grab a shuttle to wherever you need to go. Where you trying to go?
Downtown?
Downtown. So you're gonna cross over the street over there. You see the yellow transit?
Yes.
That's where you're gonna you need to grab one of those to go down to Back Bay Station, and from Back Bay Station the trains work from there.
Gotcha.
Okay?
What happened?
I have no idea. I'm just here to just tell people where they gotta go.
Thank you so much.
All
So
right.
just the one across the street?
Right across the street, sir.
Awesome.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
You got it.
That's the biggest question. Nobody has the answer for that
I
one.
don't have an answer for that, man.
I got a
I
question.
would hate to
I get the wrong
tell you,
answer.
Maybe you could go to the transit police, man. They gotta know what's going on.
They should know, right?
But they don't. But I don't know if they want to be bothered, depending on who you get. You know. What
Well,
I mean?
they should be open to the public, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You would hope.
Yeah.
Roughly how many buses they have on this route?
Oh, they got
Like
man,
70?
Yeah, they got a ton.
I counted a lot. I was over there earlier counting buses. I
Yeah.
counted up to 60, 70 buses going
Yeah,
through.
man, they're on the move, man.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of
You know
them. So I think it's quite a few of them.
what I'm saying? Yeah, so that makes people, you know,
Move the
destination
traffic
go
quicker. Yeah, I got you. You need a lot of buses to move that volume of people.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's correct.
Train station's closed, guys. Gotta grab shuttle. How you doing? Good morning.
A lot of times I come out and do a little intel before I start doing my thing. You gotta be on both sides of the fence, you know.
Exactly. Train station's closed. We got to grab the shuttle.
So the train station is closed. They don't know why, but it is closed. I know. I'm pretty sure Channel 7 and Channel 5 is going to do some kind of update on this later on. And I wouldn't be surprised they do some kind of backstory on that as well. All right, guys. On a Friday morning, you'll see it. The trains are closed. We can walk. I'll take a walk across the street and see if we can. The train station is closed. A lot of people. I guess I could cross now while it's safe before the cars get in motion. Take a look down on the tracks and see how the tracks look down there. Tracks are empty, so. Like I said, we're not too sure what happened. See, this is the time they should be cutting all that overgrowth that's hanging over the tracks. All that's sticking through the fence. So you should have like a bucket truck and one of those shredders cutting all that stuff down. Because you shouldn't really have all that growth over the tracks like that. I would cut it back a little bit beyond the fence line so you don't really have the reoccurrence. Because what's going to happen, you're going to have large trees that grow real tall, and eventually a branch is going to fall on the track sooner or later. Because if you do it now and keep it low, every year come out and trim them back, you won't have that problem. That's probably the best maintenance you can do on it for the tracks is keep stuff from falling on the tracks. that's what we have. Nothing major. Well, I guess it is major to certain people, but it is newsworthy. You come out, go to work, or getting off of work, and you realize this train stations are closed from Back Bay to Forest Hills.
Downtown, so you don't cross the street. Okay? You're welcome.
All right, guys, I'm gonna head to another station, probably get some intel over there, but this is what we have so far. We'll catch you guys on the next one.